Yeah, so I know I gave you the gift of a kender.
Always a nice thing to throw into a bunch of adventurers. Going, you sent us what? And yeah, he had a scheme about essentially trying to.
Steal something from some wizards.
And I'll check my notes. I've got. Oh, I had those pulled up before I reset.
I am never going to remember this. Is it at the start of session or the end of session that I reduced my stress die by?
As I recall, I think last time it didn't last all that long.
Oh, okay. So this is like part 2 of the session.
Yeah, so we can just kind of keep it kind of going from there. Um, so yeah, he's looking to steal some stuff from the Magi and also get you a power source that you would. One of the things you would need to end up actually taking care of, possibly at some point in the future, gaining back your magic, because there's a whole lot there to take care of.
Right.
And I know that you had basically sleep potioned a number of the guardians. So they were all going sleepy, go nighttime drugs. And I'm trying to remember what actually happened. And then you had talked to Nastya. You had talked with the potential angel boyfriend. I'm trying to remember. I've got a note here that Samrio, you went across to the Angel's Rest at the end, but I'm trying to remember what had happened towards the end.
Basically, Samrio was like beat down last game between the ex-wife and the current wife.
Oh, that's right. That's with the
Or
ex-wife.
the ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see that blow up.
And then Samrio kind of like got pissed off and went to go drink.
All right. So, as we sort of left off, I believe, yeah, Samrio had gone across to the Angel's Rest. I can't remember, Wrath, if you and the Kender were heading off. Let me put the Kender's name up by my notes for
Wilfred.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, I think we like motioned to the Kender to like steal some shit from the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I basically pointed at the defenseless guardians and said, figure it out.
And they're going to go home with a little bit less money at the end. And I'm trying to remember what had happened with Nastya at the end. Because I remember you got all sorts of tongue twisted from the angel.
Yeah, and I was very happy that I wasn't the one being shouted at this time because it was fucking...
But Nastya is in control of the bar right now.
It's very true.
Samrio left.
At the end of her shift, I think she agreed that she was going to show this guy around town or something. But for now, she's behind the bar. Something that the proprietor was like, no.
Okay, so at this point, I also believe, I think the Guardians were still there sort of at the end of it.
Yeah, just sleepy.
Okay. So for... Yeah, so Nastya, figure out a little bit about the blackmailer, and then I'll be right back with you. Wrath.
Yes.
I try to remember if you were doing something with Wilfred before heading in to speak to one of the Magi.
I was trying to think if we were either going to try and get a disguise for him or something, because I don't think most magi would happily leave a kender amidst their things.
Yeah, there's probably a no kender rule in most of those places.
And I'm wondering, I'm sure I have someone I can go to for that. Let me look at my character sheet. Find my character sheet. One moment. Character keeper. I mean, I certainly can spend a plot point to know a guy who can provide the assets I need.
Okay.
Let's do that. I'm looking for. I think it was someone I first had contact with by the name of Gorth, who was. He's an old thief. And I think I'd used him when I first lost my magic because, even like the basic illusions, were beyond me at the time.
Okay.
And I'd wanted to, lessen the ravages of age a little bit.
Okay, so Gorth himself has set up a shop where it's primarily like a lot of thief stuff can be found there if you are the right sort of customer. But beyond that, trinkets and other things, because he had a kind of a good long career, getting kind of quite a bit. Still scarred. Scars kind of stay usually, but yeah, scarred up from a number of battles and things against creatures and such when he was younger. As you come in, he's still got a cigar in one hand, and coughing like crazy from it. Just looks at you. Haze of smoke is sort of all about the room. I'm assuming you haven't seen Gorth in a while?
Not in a while, no.
Remember your full name. Rathcondopolis. Let's see. Is Wilfred with you?
Yes.
Rathcondopolis. I haven't seen you. What is that?
Hand on his shoulder.
And Wilfred just goes, all right. It just literally puts hands here. Sort of knowing Gorth's.
This one's a friend of mine, not a problem of yours.
Yeah, but you brought him into a shop. Kind of looks down. It's like, I don't have a problem with thieves. Thieves come through here all the time, but Kender are another level. He goes, hey, I'm right here. So, what brings you and your friend back around here? It's been quite some time. I thought you were pretty well set up down at the Demon's Ruin.
I am been out of the main game for a while, but I have needs to take my friend here somewhere where he would be less welcome.
Have you found a place he'd be more welcome?
I mean, I look down, I'm like, that's not the point. I wonder if you could do your cosmetic magic to make him a little bit less Kender, a little bit more halfling.
Kind of goes over and kind of pops down, takes a good look. It's like, what kind of place are you going into? Are they going to be able to see through some of the glamour that's put on him? Is this going to be a...
It'll be a den of wizards.
Den of... Oh. Well,
So I was hoping you had something more technical that you could do.
Yeah, I think magic's not going to do it here because they can see that probably pretty easily. Okay. Problem we got is Kenner cheekbones are a little more elvish than how. It just kind of grabs Wilfred's face and sort of turns it this way and that, and it's just like.
Wilfred, give it back.
I goes, my hands are.
I know.
It kind of looked like just like a trinket as he sort of came by. He says, "Are you even aware of how many things you take?" And Wilfred just sort of smiles. He goes, "All right. Well, let me see what I can do." So I think in this case, as he goes to work on it, I think what we can do, and the Doom Pool is relatively small right now. What is the Wrath stuff? Because I might have you roll against it and see if it's a D6 or a D8 thing for it. So I think if you basically spent like that to get the D6. Do you get D6 relationships or D8? I can't remember if you had a distinction. Probably D6.
So the way Connected technically works is it just says I know a guy to provide info assets.
Yeah, I was on the wrong sheet because I was thinking you had something along those lines. But
it's one of those where it's not necessarily a mechanical. It gives me the asset, so it might be just more narrative in play.
Yeah. Die. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. What that PowerPoint's going to do is it's going to give you a 2d8. We'll just use the third one on there, the 2d8 location.
Okay.
And the location will essentially be that can be the disguise for Wilfred.
Okay.
There, so you know the guy, and it's one of those things. It'll like if someone really gets down and starts looking because the stuff he has is usually meant to. He goes through and he covers up Wilfred more. It's one where if someone gets really close and starts looking, it's going to be hard to stand up to scrutiny. But most people aren't really going to pay that much attention. So I mean, they have to be kind of like a little suspicious on the first hand for that.
I was wondering if mechanically if I should just rewrite that last one to just say gain 2 to 8 location or asset. Because I just lifted that from Smallville.
Yeah, I think maybe a D8 asset. Or 2d8 location or a D8 asset. Yeah, you can just make it a D8 asset.
Let's do that.
I think that could, it could be both on. Yeah, good. So it could be both on there because sometimes you'll know someone who's got a thing. Hey, so he sits there, goes through, and he puts on, goes through some makeup and other stuff. And he's like, "Here's the thing: you can't touch your face." I don't think I touch my face. It's like you would be shocked how often people touch their face. This stuff is going to be there, but if you start rubbing at stuff, it's going to end up coming off. Puts it on there and then kind of like touches up the cheekbones to make his face look a little bit rounder. Even grabs like some little bits of sort of foam stuff and kind of sticks it up in sort of the jawline to make it appear more full. He goes, "You're also going to notice that your voice is going to sound a little strange because of all this." And apparently that's one of the things with The Godfather was part of it, just putting in like cotton wads here helped change his voice a bit. Like that alone apparently did like a weird amount. Yeah. He kind of puts the stuff in and then like takes off like the all the pockets and such, and like Wilfred, when he takes off the thing with all the pockets, like you can kind of see his hands just twitch a little bit as he's just like he's so used to just sort of kind of going through stuff and messing with it that not having it directly available like that is making him a little movie. There's a point he kind of slaps Wilfred's fingers like, "You cannot keep reaching for things that aren't there. They're gonna think something is wrong and then they're gonna look a little too closely. Do you have it?" I was like, yes. And he, like Wilfred just kind of puts his hands down and like clutches them into fists, and you just see him taking a moment of really being careful. Matter of fact, later on when you're walking out, you sort of notice he's like, as he's walking, he's not swinging his arms because he's trying to be very cautious about his hands.
Oh, and I imagine just the moving of the arms, also, lets him know what stuff he has on him too, and what's within reach.
Yep. And so Gorth sort of finishes up and kind of looks up and goes, "Taking a kender into a den of wizards. You know this is the kind of thing that gets people killed."
Sometimes there's risks that need to be taken.
Puts out a hand.
Shake it.
Hope I see you a little sooner next time. It's been a while. We should have a drink.
You're always welcome down at the Rust.
A lot of old memories there. Not always keen to go back to them. It was a different time in my life.
Or the ruin, sorry.
Yeah. We'll say he probably lost maybe lost a leg.
Okay. In the catacombs.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, he kind of lost it like while he was still in his prime, and so there was a part of him that really loved that aspect of his life, and now, well, it's kind of gone.
I'm like, then I'll come to you.
That'd be good. And looks and goes, next time, your friend seems nice enough, but, their lack of control is not completely their fault. So, maybe just us next time.
Of course.
Okay. And Wilfred just sort of looks up at you as you're leaving and goes, "All right. Who should we visit first?"
I don't know if he gave me a list last time.
I
I think I knocked off anyone that was on the of the Mastaran order directly.
Okay. Let me go grab my name generator real quick because I'm looking at the wizard names and they're all a little too. Meh.
Me?
Okay. So. Draw one. So, one of the first ones on his list is Matsuho Takada. She is she's essentially a wizard that deals a lot with was it evocation or things like fireball, like basically like destructive magic.
Nice.
So she's a warrior wizard, someone who's seen her fair share of sort of adventuring days, but has sort of delighted in kind of training and such others. She's got a reputation as being a little sometimes a little enthusiastic with some of the rougher aspects of teaching them, because particularly when they're in those kinds of spells, if they are not disciplined enough and on top of things, that's how people get killed. So she's probably the first one.
And what
All right.
do you have a plan in this, or are you just going to be my servant and do what you do?
Probably best if I'm your servant. Do you have some things I can carry, kind of bring with?
I will. I give him, we'll say one of my journals, a few potions that I might use as barter. Probably nothing, mechanically interesting, but
Okay. You know what would make this easier?
Maybe a bag of, various ingredients that are useful.
You know, my pockets would make this a lot easier.
Your pockets also scream, "Hi, I'm a master thief."
Master. Guess I am. Yeah, I suppose.
Well, that and the fact that you still have two hands.
Kind of grabs everything and says, "Okay, let's go. Nastaya."
Hello.
Okay. I think your shift was just about over.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we name Angel Boyfriend?
Yes. Zuflus?
Oh, yep. There we go.
I
Yep.
have no idea how to spell that.
Zuplas.
Yeah, I imagine she does that thing at the end of the shift where she's like in the middle, like the direct middle of serving a customer, and then like her shift ticks to the end, and she just like drops her rag and like just stops.
I missed the very last part of what you said. You kind of dipped down.
Like as soon as her shift ticks over, the person she's like serving, she just immediately stops talking to them and walks off like halfway through.
Can I? Is someone gonna? Kind of looks over at the next, the bartender that's come to relieve Sam Rio, who does come in and is like, "Where's Sam Rio? Why are you behind the bar?"
Sam Rio and like Sam Rio's wife, and Sam Rio's like side piece. All
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Si-
Listen. It doesn't matter because today is great because I'm not the one in trouble. And she like kind of finger guns and like walks heads off.
Finger guns.
Finger crossbows.
Finger crossbows. There you go.
Didn't notice that I was douchey. Good to know. So, yeah, and Angel Boyfriend, Zuflas, is sitting there with his wine as you get off.
Yeah, she goes over and smiles and says, "So, I'm off work now. What did you want to see first?"
Well, it's the first time I've kind of come down to this plane. What's interesting here in the city?
She thinks about the temple, which is boring. She thinks about the park, which is boring. She thinks about... God, this town is boring. Do you like watching people fight?
Kind of takes a moment and goes, I've seen a good number of wars. I find the strategy and such interesting. I don't know if I've seen them in person, and considering I'm fleshed now, it's affected differently emotionally than other things. What are you thinking?
Well, sometimes when I get drunk or a little bit low on money, there is a place where people will beat each other up and you can bet on who's going to win.
Kind of smiles and goes, that sounds very interesting. Shall we?
Yeah, she smiles and like lets out like a little, oh god, he didn't find that abhorrent. Good, let's go.
Okay, tell me a little bit about this underground gladiator club you go to.
It's like, I don't know if the city has like a proper arena, but if there is one, this isn't it. It's like under like a shop of some sort, and like you just like pay the guy to get in, and it's like a small little pit, and like the people watching aren't that far away from like the fighting. I think they even might thought like they might be on the same level and just form the circle, and it's just very loud, and it's just two very big bruisers fighting. Like,
and considering the wide variety of types of people that show up in, I don't think we ever actually named our city, but the city, the fights can be quite interesting. And occasionally, we'll say when it's safe, they form a circle and then kind of push people back. When it is not safe, and that is not terribly unusual, they do have like a little bit of a higher level.
Cool.
They can be in, but there's usually it's a little less space there. They usually charge They usually charge more to get people in on those nights. That's when stuff's gonna get real interesting. Yeah, so like as you sort of going in and you as you come in, you hear like the wet thud of like a fist breaking something. You can't quite tell like jaw or bone. Like, there's not a clean snap, but so there's people like, ah, and people like yelling and screaming. You see money sort of as people are kind of coming through, and there's runners like coming out of the crowd, going back to the to like the bookies that are sort of on the outside, and they're a little bit elevated so they can see over as they're coming through, and then money is being ran sort of back and forth as the various people are betting. The runners tend to be very good at essentially drawing bets out of people, like stringing them in, win a little bit here, win a little bit here, try to get them for more, try to get them for more. There's not the I guess we'll call them bookies, so that sounds a little too modern. But the bookies are essentially they tend to have a better idea as far as what odds go. Other people just sort of have to look at who's coming in and make a guess on it, or if they haven't seen some of these people before. So yeah, so as you're sort of as you're heading in, Zuflas is there's people sort of like kind of take a look at the two of you. They've seen there enough, but Zuflas has kind of got that thing where he's still glowing a little bit. like the people are sort of like stopping to stare a little bit. Most people are not going to be aware of exactly what he is, because there's enough unusual people and things in the city that someone being kind of magical is not a huge thing. So you've got a friend of yours, someone where I don't know if you consider them a friend, but there's someone who you see. Alfredo Rudis comes up to you. Vistaya! Have you ever fought
Alfredo?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's probably like thought better of it, but then she's like had a few and been like, I can totally fucking kick the shit out of that bugbear right there.
Yeah, he's like sort of like one of the heads of the runners. He's someone who gets them collected. He's essentially he could be kind of a bookie himself, but he doesn't have like the financial backing as of yet. Because Vistaya and a friend. Are you considering getting in the pit tonight?
Who's around?
Well, I think we have got Cloris, Extineth, who's a Thryking. I always like Thrykerings. I can't remember if it's Keen or Kreen because it's been forever. Cloris, Extineth, Davis.
Fuck Davis. I hate that guy. She's got this thing where she's like, I could definitely fight, but then she's like kind of looking at Zuflas like, is this a good idea to impress someone romantically?
He seems pretty interesting because he's looking over the thing and trying to see kind of the fights. And as he kind of looks over, you can almost see like pulses going a little bit as he's just got a smile across his face, because you can just feel the energy here. Like, my God, and you're the crowd sort of going nuts.
Yes, he immediately turns to Alfredo and says, "Yeah, sure, I'm in."
All right. Tell you what, you want to take on Davis?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I'll let people know, and kind of rushes in, and Zuflas looks at you and is like, so you're going to fight tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal or anything. It's just a way to let off some steam sometimes.
Should I sign up to fight?
How big / muscly does Zuflas look?
He's almost, I mean, almost elvish in the, like, he's not quite as tall as elves can sort of get, but like pretty slender. I mean, he doesn't look like he'd be a great fighter. However, you know that's often,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are also aware, depending on what types of people and such come in, that it's not always obvious what someone's going to be like.
Yeah. And then she just like hears like a cry and just turns to look at like who's in the arena, and it's like this obviously like huge brutish looking guy kicking the shit out of someone, and then turns back to like this elvish looking sweet angel, and she's like, I mean, are you good at fighting?
Because I fought in our wars for thousands of years. I'm pretty good.
I mean, you use your fists, you don't kill the other person.
Oh. Yeah, I just had such a beautiful idea for him going in and just a pillar of flame consuming.
Yeah.
Smite! Oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that? But you told him. He goes, oh. Well, check out this body a little bit more first. And Davis, why do you dislike Davis?
God, just he's such a fucking asshole. I think I don't know. I think Davis is really slippery in that, like, he totally shouldn't have made a name for himself in fighting, but somehow he has. And just like, he's just not like a straight up fighter. He just does like really weaselly things that just aggravate her.
Yeah,
like,
speaking of, he kind of like parts the crowd as he comes right up to you. Sty, I get to understand. I get to kick the shit out of you tonight in the ring.
She turns to him and just says, I mean, you can try.
And he's sort of...
Have you ever thrown a punch?
He sort of smiles and then kind of brings things up, and like he's looking you over in that really super creepy kind of way, but then looks over at Azuflos and goes, "What, you bring your boyfriend here with you?"
Yeah, her cheeks get like a little bit purple, and she's like, okay, yeah. She like takes out a pouch of money and like throws it at one of the bookies and says like, 15 gold that I'm gonna punch the shit out of this guy in the first round.
Yeah. So as he's trying to push you, like get you angry.
Yeah.
So the history. Let me keep the results here because it did not. There we go. So, yeah, he rolled a 1 on the D8. So, but he has a total of 10 as he's sort of like staring you down. So you turn and call for the stuff. So if you want to see if he gets you kind of angry and heated, I would go ahead and make yourself a roll.
Sure. God, what's a way to? Oh, this is absolutely attention.
Yeah, and also the dice pool thing. The cool thing is you add the dice, it'll show up across the top, and then you can also choose like best total, best effect, or you can actually just click on the ones that you want to use. You can also step up and down dice, which is nice.
Nice. I think she's daring, so this is like normal for her, I think.
I forgot. Do you still have stress from last time?
I do.
Oh, I'll roll that in for him too here in a moment.
Oh, I already D10 angry. Fuck.
I'll have you roll, then I'll roll his D10 for that.
And I'm D4 injured as well.
Because I had a 6 and a 4 with the 2 that I had on there.
I'm gonna roll Zuflos' relationship because she does not want to look bad in front of him at all. Okay. Roll all dice. Oh great. So you rolled a 1, was it?
Yeah.
I have a 9.
Okay, well, actually, I rolled a 10. I rolled a 1 on the d8. You also go ahead and grab yourself another plot point. I will add that d8 to the Doom pool. And for curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and roll the d10.
Just get a
because
10 and fuck me.
and so I had a 6 and a 5. So that's a 15 against your what?
9.
Okay, well, he doesn't want to take you out yet because he wants to make some money, but he does want to raise up your angry because it's a D4 effect. You already have what, a D10?
Yeah.
So that'll put your angry up at a D12.
Cool. When do I stress out, like overload?
If someone gets you above a D12.
Oh, great.
So one of the things you've seen him do in the past is sort of the I don't know if you ever watched Dennis Rodman play basketball.
I have not.
So I live in Illinois, and I lived in Illinois in the 90s, so it was everywhere. I'm not a basketball fan, but what I loved about him is what he would do is he would talk shit to someone until they fouled him. Like, he'd be on them and just saying shit. The person would push him, and you'd see him hit the ground with a huge grin on his face. Because he got, like, tons of penalty. Like penalty stuff because of it. So it's one of his things is he wants to get someone angry enough that they break the rules. He's used on a couple times. It's one of the reasons the crowd loves him because it sometimes creates other fights that it didn't start off with. But that's just a part of his thing. And you already came in with a bit of a hot head. So, Samrio. So, Angel's Rest. You were getting away to get a drink?
Yeah, I just kind of stormed over there and sat at the bar and just started drinking.
Yeah. So, yeah, the bartender's going to get you a drink, and it's like, you don't normally come over here this early.
Yeah, I took the rest of the day off.
Rough time?
Yeah, you could say that.
About that time, as you're sitting over there, I said, just trying to like this is not what I was expecting to happen with my life. Definitely with my wife. You see Moneybags Misty walking out of sort of the back room with a number of her toughs, and Arcelsius is with them.
You gotta be shitting me.
And Moneybags seems like they all seem. As they sort of come out, they look pissed, except for Arcelsius. As they're coming out, he actually seems like he's sort of fine when they're coming out. But they're talking kind of heatedly and quietly among each other as they're coming out from the back office.
Yeah, actually, I try to ignore them and turn my back a little bit on them because Samrio's I cannot go anywhere without trouble. Just walking in the door.
Okay, we'll say they don't notice. They sort of go by and they go up to one of the tables, sort of in the back, and they're seated down and they're talking kind of close. You got your drink from the bartender. Are you keeping an eye on the main door?
No. I probably lean over to the bartender and I'm like, "Do you know that guy, Arcelsius?"
Yeah, he's been coming in and talking to Misty quite a bit recently. I don't know. He seems like something about the guy is weird, but he has a tendency to get people's ears and really sort of, win them over.
Yeah.
They brought a couple different factions of some people in recently, and he's been part of those conversations.
Well, let me give you a word of advice. The dude's an actor. Make you like him, and then get your ass in trouble. Trust me, I know. I got the bruises to prove it.
Well, I don't know. Whatever they're planning, it doesn't look good.
Well, if Misty's involved, I hope it's pretty terrible. Ever tell you I can't stand that woman?
She likes you.
Exactly.
At which point, there's someone kind of comes up to the bar and I'm gonna need And he orders a couple drinks. You see a couple other men coming in. He orders a few like beers and such, and then he orders a. It's essentially the kind of drink that pretty much only undead tend to wear, and you see like by the colors and such he's wearing, he's part of the Death Screams. He's part of Clouda's crew.
I turn to look at him. Mike, don't tell me you're here for me.
Who the fuck are you?
Good. I'm guessing you're here for Ark then.
Oh. Yeah. You know Ark?
Unfortunately. What are you drinking there? What is that?
It's cider ale.
Come on now. I'm a bartender. It's just professional curiosity.
The team name's just it's a fairly it's a cheap. It's the equivalent of a Bud Light.
Why do you drink that slop? Clouda doesn't pay you well?
Clouda pays me fine, but you know what? I get just as drunk off of this as you do off of that.
Yeah, but you gotta enjoy the journey, not just the destination, right?
Listen, some of us are much more interested in the destination. You know, this stuff kind of pulls in. This is like what is there is sort of would be poison. And one of the things that helps make sure it doesn't end up is there's any of those things that are brought in there. There's some spells and such put about it. So essentially, almost like the that Nightmare Before Christmas little skull and crossbones things. Like it makes itself known by sort of bubbling, and there's some green mists and stuff that kind of come out around it. So you can't easily mix it in with something else. So it's not usually lethal to most other beings, but it can make them sick. What that does probably means is Clouda or another undead is also on their way.
Is Clouda coming to this meeting?
Yep.
Great.
You work here? I don't think I've seen you here before.
Nah, I work at the Ruin.
Oh.
Demon Ruin's in.
Okay. Takes a moment, kind of gathers his stuff, and then he and his men head back, and then you see Clouda enters. So kind of floating, the bottom part of her, then trailing off into nothingness. She can have more of a physical form, but often doesn't travel that way. And heads straight back. I don't know if you say anything, but she heads kind of straight back towards that table.
Yeah, I like when she passes by, I'm like, I didn't think Banshee drank anything.
She kind of stops and takes a look at you and goes, "You're here. Don't you work at the competitor?"
Yeah. But you shouldn't get high in your own supply, I heard. Sam Rio's like half drunk at this point.
He goes, she kind of like nods a little bit and goes, "How are things going over at the Demon's Ruin?"
I'd say business is good. Minus some bureaucratic bullshit with the city. But I'm sure the proprietor will take care of that eventually.
Okay. She kind of takes a moment and nods, and then she heads back to to the others. A few minutes later, Misty sits down next to you. This is probably more attention that you were planning on having when you showed up. As I recall, I think Misty had a crush on you, was what we decided?
Yeah, I think so.
Misty comes and sort of places a hand on your arm and goes, "Samrio,
Misty?
what would it take to have you working for me?"
Ain't gonna happen, Misty.
Things aren't looking good right now at the Demon's Ruin. There's a decent chance it's going to come under new management relatively soon.
Who?
She just sort of smiles. She goes, had a lot of problems there. There's a lot of concerns with demons being in charge of, well, one of the institutions of the city.
Come on, these demons are harmless. They're somewhat good people.
It's funny, I have a dent on the side of my building, which, by the way, the bullseye that has been painted there from the amount of time Nastya has kicked someone across the street. People get hurt with that. People get killed. And she was dumb enough to do it to a guardian.
When was the last time somebody got killed at the Demon's Ruin? Come on, it's been years.
Possibly, but they don't want to get to that point. Sam, I don't know how much longer you're going to have a job there, at least with the proprietor.
This sounds like a conspiracy.
It's business, Sam. And I've got a place for you.
Why would I want to work here? I like my job.
Do you like your job? Do you like your boss?
I like my job. Kind of like my boss. I really like my coworkers. My brother-in-law works there too, so I can't really just like hang him out to dry.
Keep things in mind. The working for me is not all bad.
Misty, what are you getting at? Just spit it out.
She just kind of smiles and she goes, things may be happening shortly, and when they do, just remember, I would like you to work for me, whether here or somewhere else. Just keep it in mind.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind. Can I drink in peace now? I knew too many damn people in this city. Can't be alone anywhere.
Well, it's hard to be alone when you cross the street from where you work, but you're always welcome here. Give him a couple on me.
Thank you. I'll take them right now.
Okay. Get you set up. And she kind of walks back. And as you're sitting there finally kind of having a drink in peace, your wife and ex-wife sits next to you. And then we'll cut to Wrath. Okay, make a couple notes here. Okay. So Wrath. For Matsuo, she's been teaching for about 2 years, kind of in between some of her various like quests and other stuff that she does. But she has, you can usually find her at the Mages Academy here in town, at the college. You also know office and where she lives, all that kind of stuff. Where are you going?
Oh, if it's during the day, I'll assume she would be teaching. Wilfred, where's the stuff that you want from her?
She keeps most of it either in her office or her home, probably in her office.
We'll go to the office then.
Okay. So, her office, along with, like with a lot of them, there's a ton of magical charms and spells and such, essentially to help keep out intruders, people who aren't wanted, all of these sorts of things throughout, because you do have a lot of them. One of the reasons people keep a lot of their sort of powerful items sometimes in their offices at the Mages College is it's incredibly well protected from someone like breaking in when they're gone. There's lots of magic alarm, and it's stuff that like they don't have to pay for. Now, both of you know that when someone is in, it more protects against people coming in when they are not wanted, breaking in after hours, stuff along those lines. When someone's having office hours, if a student happened to open the door and walk in before knocking and then got killed, that would be a problem.
Awkward.
So usually it's one of those things that when they're gone, things are automatically locked and taken care of. So it is pretty usual to see them keep some pretty powerful items there in the college because it's a lot of times it's safer and there's other guards and such around. So her office hours at this point, when you sort of come up, she's dealing with a student. Now, her office has got sort of two levels. One is like a standard office with a lot of her scrolls and other stuff, but the bottom part of it, sort of as you come in, there it kind of steps down, is been specially magicked basically so that you can throw out a good amount of firepower in here and it's not going to melt the stones or destroy things. It's not going to go other places. Yeah, and it's essentially like a place where she can kind of one-on-one work with some people on things outside of like the other places they normally use. As you're kind of coming down, she's in there. You can kind of see through. There's a door made of crystal that's in there. There's just this huge amount of fire being thrown out by this kid who's probably 17. But it's like, it's kind of going all over the place. You hear Matsuo, it's like, focus it, but you want it smaller. You're not trying to burn down an entire village. You're trying to aim at a single person. And as you see him kind of like working, she just slaps his hand at one point. And it goes, and as it grows bigger, and she's like, grabs him, and it stops for a second. He goes, if we'd been in combat, the people that you are with, your party, your friends, would have been slaughtered by your own hand if you can't control when someone slaps your hand. She kind of holds up, and there's a fairly large scar. He goes, what are you going to do when an owl bear gets past one of the fighters and gets to you? Kill everyone? She goes, I need a drink. She comes out, she's just dripping sweat, because it may do a lot of stuff for the stopping the stuff to be destroyed, but heat is still heat, and there's a lot of it in there. And she kind of comes up and takes a look. Wrath. This is a surprise.
Been a while since I had seen you, and I still miss all of this.
Imagine you do. It kind of pours water on a towel and then just sort of like does her face in it.
It has good power, but as usual, you're spot on with your instruction.
Of course, and she sort of turns to him and goes, I have an old friend here. If you want to take off, we'll talk later. And he just kind of nods and then heads out. And then at the door shuts behind him, she goes, he has a lot of power. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. Reminds me a little bit of us. We were young. He'll get there. He's just eager. You remember what it's like trying to hold in all that anger and power at the same time.
I do.
He's young. He's angry. He'll either be a good adventurer or he'll get a lot of people killed.
I remember my youth when I thought that the martial training would help it so I didn't have to concentrate, didn't have to control as much. Because no one would break it, because no one would get to me. Glad I outgrew that stage.
Just got to learn to control it. So, what can I help you with?
I'm trying to think. I thought I had an excuse. I have a few friends planning on going a bit deep into the dungeon. And wondering if you had any of your scrolls for those spells you had mastered.
What are you looking for?
I name off, the ball of abysmal flame, the 8, lights of Lithuan.
I'd say it's fairly powerful, high level.
Yeah, they're fairly powerful, high level things that I know she's, mastered.
So yeah, she's like,
they would come themselves, but they knew we had a connection.
So they're hoping I'll go easy on you when it comes to price. Who's your friend?
I sell them information. Oh, this is my servant Wilfred. It seems ever since I've started to suffer the ravages of age, I need more and more assistance.
But it's a shame. It's a Wilfred. You don't have to be quite so nervous. We're not going to do to you what we did. Because he's still, like, his hands are sort of stopped still. I guess he's just kind of trying to keep that together. He goes, you can relax. You're safe. He goes, yeah, yeah, uh-huh. She sort of sighs, just sort of looks back at you and goes, I mean, you look good. You're getting up there, but we all are.
You're as beautiful as ever.
Yeah, you're
And I just wink.
She goes, if you think that's going to help you, you are barking up the wrong tree. All right, so those ones, what do you have to offer for skills like that?
I dig out, some of the rare components I have. I think there's even one of the, dragon's teeth in there. I'm like, but I would want to, it's been long enough. I'd want a quick display of the spell again. That's one I had never learned. And I want to make sure that I'm giving my client the right product. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convince her for us to go downstairs.
Yep, and then also to give you. So what I'm going to do is, because she kind of goes around and gets some stuff. I'm going to roll Doom Pool, okay. And you're essentially, remember, you've got the D8 asset for the disguise that he's got. Oops, I hit keep results before I rolled. Choose best total. Oh, and we'll say Wizard's roll. Post the note. And keep results. Oh, it doesn't go there. Okay, so yeah, she's got a total of a 13 with a D4 effect. Wait a minute. It wouldn't be a D4, it'd be a D8 effect.
What kind of system is this?
I don't know why the D4... I guess if you choose best total... Oh, total... check dice's effect. Okay, I see. That's how that works. Yeah, so... Okay, yeah, so when you roll, you can hit, like, choose best effect, or choose best total.
Okay.
And it'll automatically click those dice, and you can click the other one and say that, like check dice are effect. Okay. Or check dice are total on that one. So it'd be nice if you could just sort of... If you checked it multiple times, it would just sort of appear like total effect, nothing. However... Yeah, so there's a 13 with the D8 effect.
Okay, so... I don't actually... Even though my statement for honesty is they can't handle the truth, I don't exactly think that is relevant. Just trying to think which value is best. Actually, I'm being dishonest, so I'm just going to challenge it. It's not that she can't handle the truth. It's I don't want to give her the truth. So honesty, I'm going to use my relationship with Wilfred because his schemes do always get me into trouble. I do not have any stress, and I believe I'm going to use my genius in this case because I've established a plan and a background to try and get her away from her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I remove all dice.
Yeah.
Ooh, lots of ones.
Oh shit.
So I choose best total. Then choose best effect. Keep it.
So grab yourself your two. I'll add a
Which I
D10 and a
needed.
D12. Grab your 2 plot points. 1 and 2. 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 1
And we were just carried over from last session, correct?
Yep.
In which case, because I still had 3, I am going to. I think I'm going to increase my total to 21, and that's just leave a D4 effect. Is the
Okay.
D4 the default?
Yeah, D4 becomes the default. And technically, I mean, the effect here doesn't really matter because you're swiping.
Right.
He's giving him a chance to swipe something. That 25. You said 21.
21.
Be 5 above, so you'll essentially take someone out if that was, or raise it up by 1.
Right.
So in this case, it goes through, and as you're sort of going down, you see him, and he kind of, when he comes up to you to bring you some of the stuff, he just sort of taps you on the leg just to let you know that he's got it.
Okay.
And she goes through and she kind of shows you like the magic, like the stuff she's pulling up is some pretty high level stuff. It kind of brings up all of this power and coalesces this big effect. Looking for, and then she finishes, sort of turns and goes, "That's how it works."
The 8 lights is definitely what they'll need.
All right. She goes through. She's like, "Yeah, it'll be this, this, this," and you go through and you sort of trade some of what she needs. She goes, "All right."
Just as we're getting ready to leave, I'm like, has the Academy ever reconsidered at least allowing me to teach some theory? I know they've been pretty, well, shall we say, frightened of my predicament.
People are worried that we don't know if you would catch if you're around people for too long. I mean, you're around Adon. Well, you were. I mean, how long were you two together after?
Like, we still are. We have our good times and our bad.
Listen, Adon hasn't lost a step. Well, he hasn't lost a step in power. He's been distracted. And I'm probably not the first person to tell you this, but if Adon doesn't kind of get his stuff together, he's looking at losing a lot of influence.
He's recovering nicely after his last trip. I anticipate he'll be more focused.
If he is, that'll help. You still know your shit. Anything else you need?
No, thank you for your time.
I have students to yell at.
And we will sneak out. Well, we will walk out.
Okay. Yeah. Why are you trying to sneak? I don't know. I just felt like we should. We don't have to do that.
Start
All
making
right.
some sound.
So, Nastaya,
Let's go.
the Thrycreen just knocks the one he was fighting down to the ground and like hitting with several arms, lifts him up and just smashes him into the ground. And you see the person there just sort of stop moving. He's not dead, probably.
Can you link me to what do you call it? A thry?
Oh, Thrycreen?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Thrycreens are from Dark Sun. They're insect people.
Oh, nice. Love a good insect person.
Like the last time I actually played, here I'll throw it in chat. I'll throw one of them. Last time I actually played D&D, Dark Sun was still relatively new. Yeah, I did love me some Thrycreen. Okay. Yeah, just that hits the ground, and like people are like some people are cheering, other people seem a little pissed because they have lost some money, and then they come through and say, "Next, Davis versus Nastya the Demon. Be like, ooh.
Wish people wouldn't put that on the end of my name. Cool. D12 angry. She is wanting to blow off some steam right now. Let's go.
So one thing to remember: are you using a plot point to use that yourself as opposed to the other person? I might recommend it because the Doom pool just got fucking huge.
So wait, I can use a plot point to use my stress pool.
Yeah, it's like the way I've always explained it is like, you know, in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
when he does the whole like, but your sister might instead. He's trying to piss off Luke enough to bring him out to fight, but it goes poorly for Vader. That's essentially Luke spending a plot point to be like, nope, yep, he just notched my anger up. Now I'm going to use that to beat the living shit out of him.
Is there a downside to this? Does it like, oh yeah, no, but that D12.
No, it just uses a plot point.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So as he sort of comes in and he's like, then sort of turns around and goes, I'm going to take her out within 3 minutes is my guess. He sort of turns and goes, they don't last long against me. And kind of cranks his knuckles. And you see like he's got like a number of tattoos, you know, some of which are slightly magical.
God, what a poser. Also, I need to know who does their tattoos. I want one.
What do you do?
Yeah, she's not up for talking. I think she like takes off like her coat or whatever she's wearing and drops it down, and it's just like cracking like her neck, and it's just like she doesn't look as tough as she is, but like people who have like spent 5 minutes with her know she's fucking tough stuff.
All right. So next he goes, as he sort of charges up, and as he rushes through with sort of a surprising amount of speed, is one of the things is he looks relatively small, but can be, like he really knows what he's doing, sort of fighting in particular. All right, I do have a 1 on the D8 if anybody wants to buy that one away, but if we choose best total, nope.
This is 16.
Oh, and a D12. Yeah, so as he's coming through, keep those results. Yeah, as he's coming through, like a flurry of punches, and you see like some of the tattoos start to glow as his hands almost blur a little bit as he's moving with a huge amount of speed, as he's just trying to take you out quick.
I could knock this guy out of the scene, but that's not interesting. I want to roll. Okay, let's go. It is very, very cute how this guy's trying to talk to me right now. So do I need to remove all the dice, or what
Oh, yeah, I think, remove all dice.
Okay, so there's the D12 for my anger, then D10. I am absolutely doing this for Zolfast right now. I am athletic and also fast, so that's a D12. What the fuck?
Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, she's very athletic and fast. Can I? Because I've already spent the plot point on doing my stress, can I spend the plot point to add an extra distinction?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's one of those where, especially if you build up plot points, you can dump a whole bunch. One of the best, the Firefly role-playing game does a really good job as it goes through all the episodes and sort of shows how, like, you've seen Firefly?
Yes. Yeah.
So you know Shindig, where Mal gets in that fight, the fencing? and is getting his ass kicked until the very end.
Yeah.
Like they go through that whole fight and basically show how he was basically he keeps losing, but like the damage is a little bit different in Firefly, but keeps like getting plot points because he takes a distinction at a D4 instead of a D8, and a couple other ones and such. So at the end, he's basically able to go like plot point, plot point, plot point, plot point, and then add a whole bunch of shit into it, and then just kick the living hell out of the other person.
So what's my max limit? Can I spend how many distinctions can I have at once?
I think it's maybe as many as you want to spend plot points for. I don't believe there is an upper limit.
Sure,
for that.
then I will spend my third and final plot point on the fact that she is a fucking demon.
A little bit meta game, but sometimes I'll save a plot point just in case I need to add one to the dice pool after the fact.
Oh, true, yeah.
You know, so that you can, instead of just taking the 2 highest dice, you can take the 2 highest plus another die.
That's true. Okay, let me remove that one then. Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
Oh fuck. So hold on. So yeah, it was D12, D10. Oh, 2D12. And then a D6, D8. Yep. And so wait. So what you're saying is that if I roll and don't have enough, I can spend plot points to add a third dice, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Roll. 11 plus 6.
Grab yourself another plot point for that one.
God damn. So I can't use that as an effect dice, can I?
No.
Okay, but I can spend the plot point to add that extra d6. So I have 12 plus 11, and then the d10 for the effect.
So yeah, so you'd have so that would give you what would be your total be?
12 plus 11, 21. Wait, 23.
Okay, so yeah, you'll have. I would go ahead and hit like you probably choose best total and then click the one you want for effect.
Choose best total. So how do I make
Okay, so I think if you go choose best total. So total, and then you can just click another one so you can go check dice or total, and then check dice or effect, and keep results.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what you do, and then I'll see if he can end up beating that. Or actually, so the thing is, you have beaten him by more than 5. So actually, you have a D12.
Effect.
Yeah, basically you'd be able to knock up the effect to a D12 on that one. So is he? So I guess describe what you did, and then I'll roll.
Yeah. Fuck. I think. No, she's angry. She wouldn't do like the cool dodging thing. She's like fucking like batting away all of his like punch attempts. And then like the final punch he throws, she like just catches his hand and just starts squeezing really, really fucking hard, and then goes to like headbutt him, I think.
Okay, so I said with the squeezing part, is his trying to react. Is he tries to punch you with the other hand, which I'm guessing since he got a 14 against your 23, you also catch.
Yeah.
And then you headbutt him.
Then I headbutt him. Yeah.
So I'm doing the D12 injured, or
let's have a look. Yeah.
okay. Says, and he just kind of staggers back and kind of falls on the ground. And you see himself trying to pick himself up. What do you do?
So he's not reacting?
Well, he's trying to pick himself up. And I'm saying with the D12 injured, he's pretty close to out. So, yeah, right now he's just like trying to pick him. So while he's doing that, do you?
I think she squats down slightly and says, "What did you say it was? 3 minutes you'll take me out?" How long's it been? She just looks at someone.
Okay. Yeah, the people just start to laugh. Go ahead and make your roll. Remember, you can add his D12 for to your dice roll.
Cool. Yeah, he tried to make her angry. She wants to make this guy insecure right now. He is very cute, trying to fucking step up to me right now. Damn, having a potential boyfriend is fucking great for the die, because whenever they're there, I'm just like, yo, I'm just totally just trying not to fucking look bad in front of them right now. Relationship die. Can I spend a plot point more than once on the stress thing again? So like on angry again, or is it only like?
No, you can use it again.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, she's totally. She's pissed. She just really fucking wants to just drag this guy through the dirt.
This is what happens when you make a demon angry.
Any good distinctions? Would this be daring, seeming she's not taking him out? She's like taunting him. Like,
yeah, I can see that, especially if you kind of let yourself be open.
Yeah.
Like if you're just sort of down in a way where if he tried to sucker punch, it'd be a little more dangerous. But that's the stuff that works out for you.
Cool. Okay. Roll. So choose best total, choose best effect. Yeah, so I have an 11 and a DA effect.
Okay. So go ahead, keep results.
Oh god, please gods, please. Nice gods.
So at this point, unfortunately for you, the doom pool has gotten pretty high.
Real.
So you said just been 3 minutes. He goes, and he literally like spins onto his back and tries to uppercut you, like directly in the jaw.
Nice.
Oh, holy shit! If someone wants to buy those off, you can. I got a D8 and a D6 that came up ones.
How do you buy off again?
If you can spend a plot point to then get rid of the same size one off the doom pool. If I roll a 1, and sometimes you'll have other things that'll let you use an opportunity, which is what those are called when I roll them. So total, and it won't really matter. Check dice's effect. Oh fuck! He had 19. That's actually gonna raise it up to a D12 as he comes back. So you can roll to see if you because there's the back and forth. So if you fail, you'll take the D12 total effect.
Injured.
Yeah, which because you're already at what D12 there. It'll knock you out.
In injured, I'm already D4, so it would still step me over, right?
No, it would actually replace it. You wouldn't be all the way out, but you'd be pretty badly off.
Okay.
Actually, let me do this real quick, just so I've got the right total. Let me step up check dice for the total, and then keep those results. Okay.
Okay, I am out of plot points. Let's go. Jesus Christ, the Doom Pool. What did we do? What did we do for this Doom Pool?
A couple D12s that came up ones that really added to it.
Can you buy dice if you're not there?
Yep.
Oh, I'll buy D8 then.
Okay. I'll remove that from the pool.
Yeah, I'll buy the other one then, the D6.
And D6 is gone. Yeah, I'm digging this roller for it. It would be nice if you could actually keep a doom pool and a plot point thing as a part of it.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah, cute. Oh shit! Hold on. Remove all dice. D10. She is athletic, fast. Yeah, she's just gonna try and just like quickly move her head out the way and just pop him in the face. Just slap him, I guess. Her dice aren't great though. I think she's gonna lose this one, and I'll be so happy about it. Okay, so because I haven't done this yet, quickly, can I know what it takes to use triggers and special effects? Like it has like a number, like a D8, a D4, D8, D12 with like writing next to it. Does that mean I have to what? Does that step up the dice or step it down?
It'll. So the thing is, it just means if you have that level, you can use that. Like for your athletic fast, you can add a d6 to the trouble pool to increase your afraid or insecure stress pool, which is if you're doing that to somebody else, to basically like increase damage and so that goes. Or like it'll tell you if you get to what you get to do. Like which one are you looking at?
I'm not looking at anything. I'm just wanting to know, like, so because my athletic fast is D12, I can choose the D12, D8, or D4.
Yeah, you can use any of those.
But like, would it step my dice down if I chose the D4 one or anything?
Nope. It just means that like a D4 that gets unlocked, at D8 the other one gets unlocked, at D12 all three are unlocked. And then like with there's a difference between that and the special effects for your abilities. So those are a plot point to use.
Yes.
The other ones are just once you've reached that level, you can use the thing.
Okay. There is. So do I have to use a plot point to use a special effect, or
for special effects, yes, but not necessarily for the triggers. So triggers are for regular abilities that anybody can have, and like magical superpower type stuff are special effects.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing. Okay, cool. Now I know. Please. Ooh, yes.
Grab yourself a plot point.
Hey, one plot point. That's a 17. I don't have enough. Yeah, so it's a D4 effect, right?
Yep.
But that's enough. That's enough.
Well, he's got a 19, so you don't beat it.
Oh God, no.
So I would take D12 injured as just he cracks you in the jaw.
Awesome.
At which point your bulk kind of. And we'll cut back to this one in just a bit.
All right.
Samrio, you have two lovely ladies on either side of you.
I don't think Samrio thinks anybody's lovely right now.
Matter of fact, life is terrible. I don't like it at all. So, Kendi, looks at you and goes, "So, Marion and I have been talking."
Is that a good thing?
Marion sort of smiles and goes, "Well, my son has brothers."
Don't tell me they're mine too, because that's just impossible.
He sort of smiles and goes, "Your children would be his brothers and sisters."
All right, what? What do you two want from me?
Well, as you know, Marion, her culture, marriage is supposed to be forever. There are some ways out of it.
I am so eager to hear what the ways out of it are. Samrio's in true drunk asshole mode right now, by the way.
Yeah, there's a point where she just goes, "You know what? You're maybe drunk enough that we don't want to go into it right now. Let's just say that we'll talk about it when you're more sober. But let's say there are ways that you can end your marriage to Marion, and she is free to be with other people."
Well, I don't think this should wait till I'm sober because I would like to do this right at this moment. Kendi, I'm married to you, not to Marion. So if I can end this quickly, the sooner the better.
Sounds like you're pushing her.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make yourself a roll.
Um. Okay, so this is love, definitely. So that's a D10. Kendi, which is a D12.
Yeah. Lucky for your Kitty's relationship, she doesn't use the Doom pool.
I don't know. Do you see? I don't know if I see Not Born Yesterday fitting into this.
Not because no one's trying to fool you.
Yeah.
They're just going, you're drunk enough that right now it's not. Smartass definitely does so far.
Yeah, I'm being a smartass right now, so I'll put that in there. And I'll throw in a D8 for home. Let's roll. G's best total. And G's best effect. So that's a 15 with a D8 effect.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, keep results. Oops, let me. So at this point, she just. Oops, I gotta roll them. 14, not quite enough. Yeah, so you're gonna it pisses her off a little bit. Where did you want that to go? Like insecure, angry?
Let's give her. Yeah, let's give her angry.
Okay. Because yes, you're married to me and not her. However, watch it. You're married to me, but you are also still married to her. We shouldn't have this conversation while you're drunk. There's a couple ways to do it. One of which involves a battle.
A battle. Oh God! Like I haven't already fought a battle today.
And Mary just sort of smiles and looks at you, and she's like, "We already discussed that. I would snap you like a twig."
I'm not gonna battle you, Marion.
No, you're not.
Merciless, Marion. There's no doubt you earned that nickname.
Yes, I think you remember how I earned that nickname.
Yes, I know, Marion. Don't remind me.
I'm trying to remember. Were you like because you were never like an adventurer or anything? So how did you end up meeting her?
I think we were like a first love thing, and thought, oh yeah, this is our first love. We're gonna be together forever, and you know how that usually turns out. So,
Yep.
um,
I'm still waiting on my first love, so you shut up. We're gonna be together forever. Yeah, she's just like. There's some other ways to do it. It requires some rituals. It requires a bit of a shaming of the person who has done wrong. They must be brought to account.
so you're saying I need to be shamed?
And at that point, like, Kendi just gets a big smile across her face. And she goes, gonna say, it's sounding better and better, honey.
I'm glad you're enjoying this so much. What kind of shaming are we talking about?
Public.
Oh,
People have to know what you have done and why it should be okay in front of the gods and the people to separate.
fine. I don't have no reputation to uphold. Not a proprietor. Not Claudia. I say it loud enough, she probably hears it.
Yeah, Cloud kind of looks back, at which point, Marion kind of grabs you by the arm and looks you in the eye. Goes, I would not have married a weak man. I would not have married a coward or someone who doesn't matter. Do you think I would have had a child with someone who's one of the forgotten?
The Forgotten? What are you talking about?
The people you walk by on the streets every day, they live, they die. It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to anybody else. When history is done, they will not have made a difference. Not everyone who should be remembered is going to be, but many of them out there, they live their lives and they die nothing. And they
We all
will
make
never-
a difference. Even the little person makes a difference. There's nobody above anybody else when it comes to making a difference in this world. No matter how small you are, no matter what little thing you do, you make a difference. Marion, don't get so full of yourself.
Tell me about your neighbors.
What about them?
Tell me about the last person who died on this street.
Ugh, I don't know. Probably had to ask Nastia that.
Yeah, and she like Kendi actually does laugh, like she's not wanting to, but there's one of those things where, and she remembers that she's angry. Marion kind of gives you a look, and she goes, "There are grandparents and children and people every day who die, and their graves are covered over, and no one will ever speak their names again."
You saying they don't matter?
Yes, in the scheme of things, to the world, most of us are going to be there, but some people are happy to be like that. I think you're a better person than that.
No. I think you're a terrible person for saying they don't matter.
Make a roll.
All right. I might challenge a value here.
Mhm.
I might challenge the karma value because I got karma is real and earned, but she's like telling me that it doesn't matter. So I'll challenge that. Let me highlight it so I know I challenged it.
Remember, when you challenge it, you triple it, and it also goes into your growth pool immediately.
Okay, so what? I just add 3d6 to my growth pool?
Oh, you add 1d6 to your growth pool.
No, okay, 1.
Yeah, so you triple it for this roll, but then, yeah, you add the 1d6, and for the rest of the session, it's considered to be downgraded by 1 die.
Okay. So, that's 3d6. Marion's a d8. I'll throw in likable on this one. D6 and I'm not gonna throw any of the smaller relationships, so we'll just roll with that. Roll all dice. So that's a 6, that's a 10, and I'm gonna split a plot point to add one of those 3s in. So, how do I do that on this? Do I just check one and
Yeah, so if you check one, then hit check dice or effect. Or
check
you
dice
hit
or total?
check dice or total to add a third.
Okay. Wait, it's not doing it. Let's see.
So you want the 6, the 4, and one of the 3s?
Oh, there
Yep,
it goes.
there you go.
And then, all right.
Okay. And then keep results.
Yeah. Did it go through?
Yep, 13. Okay. She only has a 10. So that one, she just happy to be one of them. Is that probably insecure, angry?
I want to say it's insecure because it's challenging her beliefs that only those that like risk their lives to be adventurers or whatever matter.
Okay. She says it has a moment where she's just, you're no less stubborn than you used to be.
Yeah. Sometimes stubbornness is a virtue. Ties into determination.
And Kendi's like, are you ready to come home?
No.
Okay. I think it's best if we sort of leave you here for now.
I'll be home when I'm home. I want to finish my drinking with my good friend, my fellow brother in barkeeping.
And he just kind of looks up and goes, Brotherhood of Bartenders. We'll make sure he gets home.
Bye, wives.
Several people kind of stopped and turned and looked at that. Because you may say it a little louder than you meant to, as they end up kind of leaving and they're talking amongst themselves. They seem to have like made fast friends, which I don't know how worried you are about that. But it's a possibility. All right, Wrath.
Yeah.
Okay, as you left, he pulls out two things when you're gone. One of it's one of the magical items he was looking for, but he also pulls out. It's essentially it's a focuser. It's a thing that magically will end up focusing power. So it's part of what they would need to help create a power source for you. So it's one of the things that would help out with that. Stolen.
I'm still amazed you got a list as detailed as you did.
Well, listen, I happen to know a lot of people, and some who,
I know people back the Kender because, well, you get results.
If you want, we can even put all this stuff back when we're finished. The chances of them even noticing it's gone are pretty minor.
I roll my eyes. Like the chances you'll be around when they notice, also pretty slim.
I have a lot of places to go, and it's not cowardice. We are going into the dungeon pretty deep.
I know. I kept the story as close as I could to the truth.
For a wizard, you make a pretty good thief.
I don't plan on changing now.
Because I could teach you.
He looks down at his hands. I'm like, a little bit too old to learn now.
Kind of shrugs and goes, you want to hit more on the list today, or do you want to wait up a bit? And how nervous you are being all stealthy and inside things and keeping secrets. I'm used to it.
Who's next?
Smiles now and goes, not gonna use that one. Hit an orc name. Oh my god. Omaghed. Oh my god. No. Grikug.
What was his spelling?
Grikug.
What do I know about him?
He's an orc summoner. He is. He doesn't teach at the school, but he's sort of associated with it. He helps out here and there, and he's often sort of hired to kind of summon in creatures and such for like some of the apprentices and such to kind of fight and go after.
I was trying to think what would be my story for this one. I assume he knows a good deal about the creatures of the deep.
Mm-hmm.
What were the names of those guardians we fought? Or were they just guardians?
Let me.
Regardless, that's what I'm going with.
Let me see if it was in here.
Actually, it was just one guardian, I thought, but he split into 3 or something.
Okay. So, it's one of those things where you've got to kind of look for where he might be. I don't know if I wrote down. Probably on one of the other prep pages. You're kind of waiting for him to be like home or office, or home rather. Because it takes a little while for him to come home. But you're sort of hanging out nearby. When as the sun's kind of coming down, you see him hoofing his way down the street, just kind of coming in. He's got a little bit of a sway to him. Looks like he may have been enjoying a little bit of liquor.
Excellent. I'll see if I can intersect about at his door.
He looks up and takes a moment and steps back just a little bit. Condolences. I hadn't expected to see you, well, ever.
I needed some information that I hope you would have on an unusual denizen of the deep.
Kind of gives a moment and sort of like looks around, opens the door to his house. He stays a little bit away from you. There's, come on in. As he heads in and sits down and kind of like sinks down onto a couch, kind of the far end of the living room you come into.
And I'll sit a respectful distance from him. Apparently, he thinks I'm contagious.
This information you're selling to some of the adventurers going down?
I'm sorry, repeat that. I missed
Information you're selling to some of the adventurers going down?
information I need for myself.
What are you going to do? You don't have the skills of a warrior. You've lost your magical ability. Things down deep.
I can still cut something in half. But yes, my magic is waning.
How good were you ever at cutting things in half?
Enough to defend myself when something got close.
Kind of shrugs a bit and goes, all right, what do you need to know?
Ran into a guardian. And I give, the rough area of the dungeon. Near where the beholder used to live. Unusual placement, given that there was no one powerful occupying the area. And I thought you might know more about such creatures and maybe who would be dabbling in summoning one.
Summoning, and this is for one of the guardians. He's like, kind of thinks for a moment. Those sort of guardians are... They're not the kind of things that stick around as pets for something like a beholder. They're not... what's here?
Something with a given purpose.
So if a guardian was down there, someone summoned it. Most of them, as you sort of describe it, he kind of goes in and goes, have you ever encountered a guardian like that before?
I had not.
They're fairly rare from what you're talking about. He kind of gets up and sort of pours himself a drink. They don't tend to pal around with demons. They don't tend to be summoned up by some of the other creatures. That's usually a fairly powerful wizard is going to be someone who's going to summon up a creature like that, and they take a price when they do.
Do you have anything in your text on it that I might look at?
Yeah, so he goes in, and I would say, so at this point, I would make
and now
a roll.
I'm trying to separate,
Yep. So yeah, so that he can get there's time for him to kind of go through and look for things. So I'd say go through and make yourself a roll while he's kind of pulling out some stuff and taking a look. He goes, I have a feeling the price paid might have been, well, you.
I think I'm using attention because my experience is command respect.
Mm-hmm. Remove all dice.
I think I'm still using Wilfred because I'm buying time before we get executed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I am using genius because this is my element in terms of like research and I can spout off plenty of stuff that I know, related to this.
I'd go ahead and use that D8 for the disguise as well, if you have not already.
And a roll. Okay. I'll go with that.
Okay, so 16 D12 effect.
Yep.
All right.
And I inquire more about, what do you mean me being the price,
Yeah.
my life?
Those sort of, he sort of turns at one point, as you see as he's going through and kind of like looking at stuff. Wilfred's very good at like seeming like he's just sort of looking at things as he's sort of like heading around and trying to remain less than kind of noticed. A creature like that usually requires a fairly great sacrifice. Nobody would call it just to be searching for a beholder. If that power was down there, I mean, had you told him this was down by where your power was, or did you tell him?
Yeah, I told him it was down near where I'd lost my power, and we were seeking to regain it.
If a fragment of you is still locked in there, your essence could be a way to pull it out. So someone might be trying to unlock that essence and use it, well, for themselves. It would, however, probably require your death. Oh, one on one of the D12s.
I will buy that for sure.
And I have a 14.
And I think, maybe it's, maybe I, as Wilfred does something, I sort of like knock over one of his, more important books,
Yeah.
causing him to, reach and grab it, before it hits the ground.
Okay. Yeah, and then see Wilfred kind of grab some stuff and pockets it as he sort of grabs it and just. If that was down there, and you see that Wilfred's got what he needs, that means someone didn't want you to come back. Someone wanted to probably give up that power. There could be another reason for it, but why would a guardian like that be there? There's no reason to summon it up. It costs too much to just have it in the dungeon.
I don't recall. Was the other enemy that I created also a wizard? I thought it was a dragon, but I don't recall if it was also a wizard.
Dragons can have fairly powerful
the
magic.
destroyer of men.
Most dragons can use a good deal of magic.
Okay. I know I have enemies. Adventured for quite some time.
Well, if you've got someone who's got a vendetta against you, that might be what happened. Now, they are very long-lived, so someone could have placed it down there expecting you to go in after it, or they could have known. Chances are they would have known you went down. If it's someone who actually had the power to pull up one of these and have it wait, you have other problems.
Who do I know in Mastara that might have that power?
Well, the unfortunate part is, you know the Council. You know some of the most powerful wizards in the world. There are people that might have it. The thing is summoning, I don't think was your thing.
No, it wasn't.
And it's one of the things that with different types of magic is you'll know a little bit about all of it, but there is a lot of
I could, maybe acquire a mount, but that was about it.
Yeah, and like as a summoner, Grickug is he's got this deep knowledge of all these things it'll cost. You just know that there's often a cost to summon something. Sometimes it's just literally you have enough power to kind of force it to do something. The more powerful ones often require bargaining of some sort. So, I mean, you know quite a few who it could be. It's more looking at your enemies. I'm trying to remember what was the dragon's thing for you?
Once my book.
Yeah, if you're dead, getting your book is easier, but it could be also... Remember, there are also people who are essentially wanting to throw Adon off
definitely.
the thing. So you have a couple possibilities.
Yep. You've been helpful. What's your price?
Well, since you just came asking for knowledge, I guess I'll ask for some as well. What did you find when you went down there?
There certainly was some of my essence fragmented memories.
Memories you still have, or memories that had been taken from you?
Memories I still have. But, you know, memories and usages of my power during my adventures down there. Things that, you know, when I make a gesture that, you know, would summon a, you know, flame, and I'm like, things I have no longer.
Sort of takes a moment and goes,
Somewhere I want to explore again when I have the right tools.
when you have it, perhaps talk with me. I'm a summoner, so I see everything as a possible summoning, but what you described ties into a few things. And what I would eventually like to do is when I make a move to replace the summoner on the council, if I'm able to help you, and Adon gets his life back together, you might be some good allies.
I think that's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
And I'll bow, realizing he's not much of a handshaker or hugger, you know.
Yeah.
And let myself out.
Yep. And then as he comes out, he's just like, Wolfred's shaking a little bit. He goes, orcs don't like halflings. Orcs don't like Kender either. Like, yeah, I got it. It's got his own thing. Then it also shows you there's a tether, something that could actually, like, I mean, summoners use it to sort of link themselves to, link themselves to a thing brought up that could be used to pull back in.
I'm like, as I look down over, I'm like, and I never want to know what else you took.
And smiles and just goes, just one of the things we
Never.
need. All right.
No, can't be used against me.
So, Nastaya.
Hello.
As both of you have kind of hit the ground, and things were not great for you, for either of you, because I think you're both at you're basically both at D12. I think injured or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm D12 angry as well.
Yeah, and so let me let me roll one more D12. That probably won't make a difference.
Oh, great.
Can I roll just one dice? I've got a 9 and an 8 for the total.
Check dice.
Oh shoot! Okay, well, I have a 9 and an 8 for the total, so chances are it won't be. Yeah, it won't make a difference. Yeah, as he gets up and he's like kind of trying to limp over there as quickly as he can. What he wants to do is basically kick you in the face and knock you down for good. So his total is a 17 with a D12 effect.
17 D12 effect. See, I could roll and most likely fail here, which would be super fucking hilarious to me. Knocked out in front of my boyfriend.
Now would be the time if you have anything to challenge.
Yeah, that's true. I could just knock this guy out of the scene. That's the boring one.
I also have a feeling you've been sanctioned for that in the past. Because when you knock someone out of a scene, you're probably knocking them through a wall.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's roll. I really hope that I get knocked the fuck out.
Remember, you can always choose which dice you use for your totals.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to challenge. It's cute how much people try to talk to me because I'm starting to realize I'm not that hot shit. So how does that work when I get 3d10, I'm guessing, and it steps
Yeah,
down for the rest of the game.
yeah, for the
But
rest
not
of,
the
for the
game.
rest of the session, it steps down, and it also goes into like, that D10 goes into your growth pool.
Okay. But I get 3d10 for the roll.
Yep.
That's dope. Okay. Um um I'm athletic and fast. My relationship. Please don't let me. Please don't see me get knocked out. Please don't think less of me. Oh yeah, and I'm spending my one final plot point to add an extra d12.
Well, give yourself 2 plot points.
Oh, I got 16. God damn it. Can I use the plot points that I got on the roll for the roll?
You'd be able to use it on the next one, but not on this one.
Okay, no worries. Yeah,
Well, you're hoping to get knocked out.
Yeah, it gets me by 1, so yikes.
Yep. So the thing is, it's the D12 effect, but you already have a D12, so it's just going to take you out.
Yeah.
Just and just like kicks you in the head and just. At which point, there's a part of you that, like are you going unconscious, or are you just like head lolling, like you're just sort of.
I think like she just sees like a glitter of gold in like before she gets hit, and like she turns to look over at Dream Boy, and that just like fucking gets her punched, and I think she just gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, so I would say like as it kind of hits, there's a moment like where everything almost seems to slow down,
Yeah.
and you see his eyes kind of go wide, and then suddenly like a flaming sword appears in his hands, and like this golden armor appears. These wings sort of stretch out as he sort of steps in, and immediately a bunch of people like just start to and like he's standing over you as your eyes just go out.
Oh great.
Are we cool for a quick bio break? I've got to run and grab the laundry too.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm good.
Okay, back in a few.
What?
No, still waiting on the phone call.
Lumber?
Yeah, that's what I was. I was supposed to have somebody delivering some lumber yesterday, but they never came around to it. So I was telling Mike earlier that I might have to take off if they showed up because I would have to help them unload it. Yeah, that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? Yeah, show up when you show up and then get paid for however long you work. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work 12 hours a day, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna work an hour. Right. Right. Yeah, now that I think about it, like when I was back in school, I don't ever remember the teachers running off to the restroom.
We good? Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so we know it's kind of night for everybody. I'd say, Sam Rio, how long are you at the Angels Rest for?
I don't know. I think I was planning on just drinking there until I passed out,
Okay.
but I think I got to a point where like I got so drunk that I got bold and like started like dwelling on what Misty was telling me and like the Guardians and like all that talk about bad shit coming down for the Demons Ruin Inn, and I think I kind of want to go reach out to somebody to like proactively like try to do something about this.
Okay. So we'll say this probably makes a pretty good time for all three of you to intercept again because it's getting like in the evening. So I don't know if Wrath, would you be headed back towards the?
Yeah, two is enough luck for pushing for one day.
Yep. Which is a good time for, as you're heading back, you kind of see Sam Rio stumble out of the Angel's Rest. At the same time, you see one of the customers who was in earlier carrying an unconscious Nastaya, like towards the inn.
She's got a real good shiner on her face.
I like stumble over.
Yeah, and I meet up with both of them. Like, well, neither of you is looking particularly good.
Wrath, you never look good, buddy. Sorry, I'm drunk.
Number one, fuck you. Number two, you're right. I'm drunk.
Nastya, what happened?
Very unconscious.
Yeah, she goes. She took me to this gladiator fight, and well, she lost when she got in the pit with some guy named Davis.
Davis. Is that familiar? Davis.
You may have heard her complaining about. I guess it'd be up to Nastya whether she's mentioned.
Bring her to my office. She can rest on the couch there. As I walk
Nastya
into the
finally
bar,
met her match, huh? I
No,
like
go ahead.
stumble behind them
Yeah.
as he's carrying her in.
Okay.
as I walk into the bar, looking between Nastya and Samrio, I look at who's behind the bar.
One of the other bartenders. You do notice
okay.
there's a fresh group of guardians in there, who look a little like as you come in, they see you carrying an unconscious body into the thing. They look a little concerned, but the bartender kind of reaches out and goes, "No, that's Nastya. She works here." Just works here. And do the four of you just head back towards the?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you make your way to the back as he's trying to handle the new guardians. The ones who were asleep are gone by now. Surprise, surprise. And you get into your office?
Yeah, as she gets put down, I'm like, and who are you?
Oh, I am... Name of character... Zuflas.
Zuflas.
Yeah,
no.
She was showing me...
I'll shake
me
his
around.
hand. I'm like, Zuflas, that's outer planner, isn't it?
I'm an angel.
Very outer planner.
An angel? Angel of what?
I'm an angel.
I go back to my book and you
We
see
don't
me
all have...
flipping.
We don't all have specific... we're not like demons. We don't all have specific realms. Some of us do, but I'm a warrior angel.
So wait, you're an angel and you're carrying a demon. Shouldn't that like cause something? Like it doesn't like hurt the two of you to touch?
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah.
I
No,
look back, I'm like, and you didn't do this to her.
I did not.
Interesting.
Demons and angels aren't necessarily enemies, particularly demons who've lived on the plains for a long time, or in her case, probably guessing most of her life.
And there's probably a few that have switched places, right? Like
Yep.
demons that have become angels and angels that have become demons.
I think I think the angels here are probably closer to the, in some respects, like the actual sort of Christian conception, where I mean, there are demons are just fallen angels. Where here, demons are other things entirely. But there may have been some that have definitely fallen and become evil, and possibly even some demons that have risen up to kind of get past their natures. Which in Nastya's case is a little violent.
So wait, you said Nastya took you to a fighting thing?
She was new here, and I asked her to show me around. I hadn't seen anything like her before, and wanted to know her.
Oh, you got eyes for the boss's daughter.
I look between them like, don't touch anything. I'll be right back I'll go get something from Doulas.
Okay.
And I'll just step out for a second to get a couple restorative draughts.
Okay. Yeah, you get the restorative draughts and bring those back. Anything in the meantime, or you two just sort of sit there a little unsure what to do?
Well, yeah, I'm just like drunk questioning this guy. I'm like,
And then another thing.
it's like, so, wait, did you ask her out on a date?
I asked her to show me around the city. If that's a date, then yes.
Sounds like a date. You gotta be careful with dates now, because then you end up with too many wives.
What?
Yeah, too many wives. Wait, can angels get married?
We could. I suppose so.
Oh,
I'm not a.
you are so lucky she's unconscious right now.
I know.
That's about the point where I walk back in.
She's trying to claw her way up from asleep just to no wait, shut up.
I'm just trying to make it as embarrassing as possible.
I'm like, you two? You know, pointing at, Zuflas and Nastaya.
Well,
Yeah, they went on a date. Wrath. Isn't that weird? Doesn't seem like Nastaya's type, does it?
I don't think I've ever heard of a romance between an angel and a demon.
they exist. We just don't often do it.
I go back to my book. You see me writing a couple things.
Yeah, we just don't often do things publicly. Can you help her?
Fascinating. And, and I oh, yes. And, I get the potions I'd left by the door and give the, smoking one to her, and the other one to Sam Rio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I got these right. Just kidding.
Okay. Actually, in this case, what you would be able to do, you can make a roll against her stress.
I would love to do that.
You can, basically, this would be
An aid roll or whatever.
like an aid scene. That,
Comfort.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let me see what I got in my dice pool. I challenged honesty. I think this is good for experience, for attention. My experience is command respect. Drink this. I will use my Nastaya. I will take care of her since I got her old employer killed. And I don't think in this case I can use Genius because all I did was get someone else's potion. So,
Do you want me to remove the dice, or have you added any yet?
I have not added any yet. So.
Okay, I removed them. And Nastaya, you'll be rolling all of your stress together.
D10.
2d12. Cool. Should I roll now or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of us needs to roll first. So.
20.
Oh, well.
Well, I don't think I'm going to beat it with my D10 and my D8. So.
Yikes.
But I will roll it anyways.
Can I spend a plot point to help that at all, or?
Oh wait, never mind. I'm in my private parlor. I could beat it.
Yeah, let me double check on the.
I don't know how to add my location in this case, but
Oh, I would just add.
I'll roll it and then.
Yeah, just roll both of those. You can then check them to add one into the total.
How do you know which D10 is from which roll?
I think it puts them in the order you put them up there, or does
Okay.
it?
So the
Does it
first
set
two
them-
dice. The first two dice are my base roll,
Okay.
and that is enough.
Oh, okay.
These are total.
All right. So Nastaya, you will get rid of your. I'm assuming injured entirely, and put
nice.
that into your growth pool.
And I don't think Samrio really has a narrative stress, so because he's just drunk.
But I think San Rio still got some stress from last time.
Yeah, I do. I'm afraid and insecure.
Oh, well, maybe this restorative potion will pep you up a little bit.
All right.
So let me roll the same thing minus one dice. Actually, now I'm rolling D10 for attention. My Sam Rio is... Yeah, I can keep my D8 for that. And then I'll just roll my location once. Oops. Total. I rolled a 15. Hopefully you'll roll under that.
Okay, it's a good possibility. I'm rolling 2d8s. Do I need to clear or?
Yeah, remove all dice.
Oops,
Here.
I clicked roll all dice. Sorry.
It was a 2 in the middle.
That's fine.
That's an 8.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, you will. Yeah, which one does it help him with?
You had a what? Afraid and insecure. Or...
Yeah.
I think this was liquid courage, so I think it gets rid of your afraid.
Okay. So what do? I step that down or?
Remove it entirely,
Okay.
and then put it in your growth.
Got it.
I think Wrath right now doesn't have any.
I don't have any stress.
Like you like considering the amount of D12s I was rolling against some of that stuff, I'm shocked you don't.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I think I am gonna definitely find out from Wilfred like the next couple first, so I can narratively do some research on them and come up with a better plan. But I think I just got lucky.
Yeah, because that Doom pool got absurdly big.
It was, yes. So yes, as Nastya comes to, looking up at the face of an angel, what's her response?
God, how exactly would she respond? I think she takes a moment and is just like doesn't remember anything from what happened as she just sees him, and then like the pain of her like black eye, I guess it's fading away, right? Because all their injuries are going away. Yeah. But like she feels like the reminiscent pain is like ow, and then it all comes flooding back, and her eyes widen, and then she's like, "Oh God."
Hey, Nastya, welcome back. That was one heck of a knockout date you had, wasn't it?
Yeah, her cheeks, like her blue cheeks just like go purple, and she just looks like and notices that Wrath and Sabrio are here, and she's like,
Ras sitting on the edge of his desk taking notes.
"What? Why am I here right now?"
Well, your boo here just brought you back from the fighting pits.
Oh, good. You're so drunk. Please stop talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Seems
Was
you
I
had a run in
embarrassing you?
with a thing named Davis.
Oh, fucking Davis. Well, I'm gonna go.
Interesting wound pattern. What race is it?
Yeah, what is Davis just human?
It's human, but it's got some magic and such.
Yeah. Davis is just an asshole human who has some weird tattoos on his fucking knuckles, and it's weird. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with him later.
Flip. Tattoo magic. Yeah, that may account for it. That would explain the burns.
Well, look, can I bring something up with y'all? Can the angel dude, what's his name again? Fargus?
Zuphias? Is it Zuphias?
Zuflas.
Zuflas.
Zuflas. I know I had an F in it. Yeah, so I'm like, Zuflas, can you just wait outside for a second?
Sure.
Does I watch him go?
She's trying not to look him in the eye because she is
It's so easy when he's walking away and looking that good. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
She is experiencing an embarrassment she has never experienced before, and if anyone, she is probably no better not to bring it up.
If you look at her, you can kind of hear.
I think you see Sam Rio just looking at Nastya with this gigantic like grin on his face.
Just like superior cringe on her face at her own actions.
Yeah, so like after he walks out, I'm like, look, something's going down that like I think is really bad for the Demon Druid.
We have a full contingent of guardians in here, yes.
Well, not just that, like something's going on like even behind the scenes, like with Claudia the Banshee and Moneybags. And the is it the Angel's Rest? Is it called the Angel's Rest? Yeah, and the Angel's Rest, I think they're all behind this. Like they're I think they're trying to shut us down.
At which point you hear on the door.
I open it. I learned not to say enter after the vampire walked in once.
You see Enzo Davila, one of the Guardians, is sitting there, and he's actually flanked by 4 other ones. Rathkin Dauntless. We recently had several of our Guardians had magical sleep induction done on them here. You are most likely the one guilty of doing that here. The Demon's Ruin Inn.
And you, sir, are woefully misinformed. I haven't had a lick of magic in me in 2 years.
Magic wasn't cast upon them, it was ingested. Okay,
And perhaps you should be talking to Duelis,
so
the
this
potion
case,
keeper on the lower level.
okay, so I'm saying they come in there, they're kind of gunning for you.
Shysters.
I'm gonna get you some stress.
You, yes, you might.
Yeah, he goes, we've come here to take you in for questioning. We'll take Duelis as well. Now, actually, we can rewind that a little bit. Did you want to use the going to Duelis as your response?
Yeah, that would be part of my response. Already used my private parlor to help you folks. What do I have left? Let's see. They don't have a relationship with Duelis, so I'm not going to use that.
I will.
I think I can use my tension for relationship. I will use proprietor in this case. I think I could get myself a 2-day location for the inn itself, because I do know the proprietor, and that is, tangential to connect it there. I want to spend a plot point for that. I am going to use genius. I think I'll spend a plot point for it to say that I have studied the Guardian handbook before, so I know what their proper procedure is, and what's stepping outside of bounds.
Wrath is a bureaucratic badass. There's several times we're like, oh yeah, I happen to know bylaw 86.
When you're not practicing magic, you need to read stuff
Yeah.
to keep your mind occupied. So D10, D8, the D12 for genius, and then the second 2d8 will be the location itself. I'm trying to think if I should add in my connected or not. Yeah, why not? Let's go down to 0 plot points. I'm going to add in connected because, I start naming off, like, is this what, Chief Guardian, so-and-so would, approve of, and naming his boss and his boss's boss, and the member of the city council who manages the Guardians. And so the middle 2d8 will be stuff, one of them will be added. Oh, that's just one short. Damn.
Remember, you do want some stress.
No, it's good. It means I get close. Anyways, check dice or total. That's the effect. Nice. So what stress does he give me?
Insecure probably seems like.
Okay. Is that a D12 effect?
Yep.
Nice.
Because we'll be taking you in for questioning, and we can also take Doulas as well.
As you wish.
Okay. And it's about 1:45, which is normally sort of when we end. This might be a good place to end it for today.
It likely is.
Yeah, what we do is remember that if you've got any stress, put your highest stress into your growth pool, and then you can step down your stress. And
Damn,
then,
I have a lot of growth.
yeah, and then if we want to do growth,
No, yeah, I'm not going to do anything with mine. I just have a single D12.
okay.
I'll hold that for now.
So what do we do with our challenged values again?
Oh, so with the challenged values, let me
Yeah,
double check.
growth
So the question becomes: do you rewrite them, or do you keep them the same? If you rewrite them, you return your value to what it was. If you rewrite it, if you don't rewrite it, it stays down and another value goes up.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to rewrite it, so it goes down to a D4, and then I can raise any other one up, or where?
Yep, because your values will always remain the same amount of steps up. They'll reallocate as you challenge and then decide. Nope, I'm not changing.
Okay. Yeah, I put my other one in attention, because I think Samrio's starting to bring attention onto himself.
And then Lexa, I think you also.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it though.
Okay. So, did anybody want to do any growth pool?
I should, but I can't think right what I want right now.
That's also something we could do at the beginning.
Yeah, I might have to come back to that.
Yeah.
So it's when it says add new die rating, distinction power D10, that means I roll a D10?
So, with those ones, did I put that on the character keeper?
Yeah, that's what
Somewhere?
I'm looking at.
Oh, where did I put it at?
On my sheet, it's in the top right.
Oh, it's on all the sheets. Oh, that was good of me to do. Okay, so what you would do is you would roll your growth pool. I roll whatever the new die rating is, would be, plus, depending on which thing you're doing. So, like, let's say you want to raise something from a D8 to a D10. I would roll a D10, and if it was a distinction or a power, I'd add another D10. If it's a relationship, resource, or signature asset, I'd add a D6.
And then I would roll the whole growth pool.
Yeah, you would roll the growth pool. I would basically put, okay, here's what my roll is. You would roll the growth pool and see if you can beat it, and if you can, you remove the 2 dice that you use from the growth pool, and then raise up the resource.
Oh, you could only use 2 dice from the growth pool. It's not the whole growth pool.
It does it works as a standard roll for Cortex,
Okay.
which means relationships are
Roll
easy.
all of them.
And the way I've done it is you can roll all of them and then just remove the ones that you use for it, instead of resetting each time.
Yeah, I think I might have to think about that before the next session, figure out what I want to move up.
Okay. Cool. I think the new relationships we created really made hooking into the characters a lot easier.
Yeah, it did.
And I'm loving seeing Samrio have to.
Right. Fucking so good.
Yeah, like stuff he can't get someone else to pop in for, which is great. Cool. Anything else for tonight or today?
I think that's about it.
Well, cool. Thank you all.
For a good game.
very much. I had a good time.
Yep. Appreciate it all.
I'll catch y'all later.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.